Hey everybody, good morning. I just wanted to come on here. I am looking over a draft of goals for an upcoming IEP meeting, and I thought I would jump on and give you some tips of what to do and what not to do for a draft IEP. This particular draft that I have is just drafted goals. It's not the entire IEP. So that would be my first don't. Don't send just a draft of the goals. How is the parent supposed to understand where the goals come from if they don't have the draft of the present levels of performance? The purpose of the draft is to give the parents the information that will be discussed at the meeting so that they can come prepared with questions and that they don't have to try to absorb everything that's being said to them the day of the meeting, and that they have time to process and that they can truly be meaningful participants at the IEP meeting. Now, I understand that some states do not require that a draft IEP be given. However, if the parent in writing has requested a draft IEP, that's when the federal law jumps in and says, yes, you need to do that. So if you have a parent requesting in writing a draft IEP, and even if they don't do it in writing, but you know they've asked you, please do it. Parents, make sure you do it in writing. Those would be my separate tips for you there. And so give them that draft IEP. Now, what should be included in the draft IEP? Well, I guess I should caveat this with the draft is exactly that. It's what's being thought about, and it is not the final. We all know that there is no way that we can hold an IEP meeting and never have had any discussions prior. And so those things that you, as the school IEP part of the team, have discussed, put those in the draft IEP. Put in the draft present levels of performance for all of the areas. Put in the draft goals, put in the draft accommodations and modifications, put in the draft related services, put in the draft, what else am I forgetting? Transition or behavior intervention plan, the whole IEP. Now, we know that minutes, placement, that sort of information will definitely be decided at the meeting, but we also know that there has been some thought ahead of time to figuring that stuff out. So have that information in there as well. And parents, remember that this is not set in stone. You have in your mind, if you've gone through the IEP process at least once before, what you are thinking for your child, and you are able to have your thoughts expressed at the meeting and have those talked out. And we are asking for you from the school, so that you're not inundated, that they give you their thoughts. This is not set in stone. When you get a draft, it is truly just that. It is just an example of what the thinking is. Now, here's a don't that is I am finding very frustrating as I am going through this particular draft goals is, again, it's just goals. There's no present levels, so I don't know where they're getting this information. But as I'm reading these, I feel as though, and I have no connection to the school prior to this particular draft IEP of goals, but it feels like they just put something down and that they really didn't think about the individual student. And they are also, the impression that I'm getting is that they're planning on changing a lot of it at the meeting anyway. And I have seen a few drafts like that where, because the parent has asked for one and it's not a state where they're required to give one, the teacher, whoever is writing it, just puts some stuff down, and then we get into the meetings and nothing that was put down on the draft is considered at the meeting. It's all changed. That doesn't do anything except add more confusion to the parent, because the parent thought that certain things were going to be discussed, and so they were prepared to discuss those things, and then we get into the meeting and it's completely different. That just adds more frustration, more tension, It then creates distrust in the school. And we don't want any of those things. We want IEP meetings to be calm, collaborative, filled with trust for everyone at the table. And so when you're writing these draft copies, please put in there the things that are truly going to be discussed, and put in the present levels of performance that go with the goals, that go with the accommodations to reach those goals. Okay, that's my speech for this morning. Have a great Sunday, everybody.